do we do with this Apple business model where companies build obsolescence into the product? Personally, it's really what's holding me back from going with digital completely, because I hate putting money into something and a few years later it's irrelevant. The company doesn't even support it and there's no one to fix it. We're told that we have to take care of the environment. We're told that we have to do our own part, but companies are just building this into their business model and there's no other alternative. So if we take the phone for our model here, you buy an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever it is that you buy, it's good for a few years and eventually it starts to have issues. And by the time it's having issues, the option of getting it fixed is there to a certain degree, depending how long you've had the product. So at a certain point, you're going to find that maybe the cable doesn't work for your phone and you go to buy a new cable to charge it and there's no more of those cables. And if there are, they're super cheap and they're not super reliable. And eventually you're not going to be able to find them anymore. Maybe your phone has battery issues and you look at the battery and replacing it costs as much as the phone. Everything forces you to throw your purchase out the window and get something new to replace it. The options of really keeping it long term are not there. And there's a lot of companies that are building products with that in mind. They want you to buy this thing. It's good for 6, maybe 10 years. And eventually they just stop honoring the product. It just move to something else. It's disposable to them. It isn't to you because you put your money into this and you really adopted it. But now they're no longer supporting it. So you're looking on forums, you're trying to find people who can fix it. And in the long run, that becomes a problem. And if everyone has that model, moving to digital means you're consuming a product that when it's no longer supported by the company and there's no one to fix it, it's paperweight. That's what it becomes. What happens when you update the firmware on your device and all of a sudden, bang, you're brick-walled. It doesn't do anything. You go on forums, on Facebook groups, you try to get in touch with the company. Everyone is offering some solutions and nothing works. And the company's like, man, it's really unfortunate. You bought it 7 years ago, but you didn't buy an extended warranty and your original warranty is out. It's out of our hands. We can refer you to maybe these companies and you try it and it's going to cost you a fortune to fix the issue with your device. How about the cables that are needed to connect your device to your computer? Is your computer too recent and now it can't really connect with the device you have? So you have to keep a really old computer at home just to be able to access parameters in your device. You have DSPs sometimes that maybe need to be replaced. Are they obsolete? You can't find them online? Or if you do, they cost a fortune. Companies repairing these products, where are those companies? Maybe they're in a different country, a different state. You need to ship it over there. You're on a waiting list for them to fix it. Kind of the future I'm projecting for tube amps, but right now. And sometimes the product become impossible to service. So let's say you have a device and accidentally you send phantom power to it and you fry the motherboard. Who fixes it? Will it cost as much to replace the motherboard as it would to buy a brand new unit? Those are things to consider with digital. So the danger of the shelf life of some of those products comes into your purchasing decision, right? You're like, okay, I'm buying this, but what if I buy it and next year the company comes out with a new unit and they're no longer honoring this old one? Another prime example of this is not that long ago, PlayStation went and said, we're no longer supporting the PS4. I have a PS4 and I have a PS5. That means that eventually they're going to do the same thing to the PS5 when they come out with the next model right after. So yeah, you can get 10 years out of it, maybe a bit longer, but you're not going to get 50, 60 years out of it like you would with a vintage amp like that one. Longevity is an issue. Now, if you don't mind buying something, having it crap out and just throwing it out and buying another one, that's fine. I'm personally not a fan of that. And it's one of the things really holding me back from going down this route. So to encapsulate this concept is, are we building the next generation of gear to last? Or are we building a generation of disposable technology?